Okay, you're on.
Okay, hi, I'm Barb at Stamping for Beginners and Beyond, and I wanted to bring you up to Michael's so that I could show you exactly what I'm talking about with regards to paper. This is their paper aisle, and I am loving the cardstocks. You need to keep it focused on me. I'm sorry, I did that already. Okay, my mom. I am loving the colors that they have here.
Do you want to turn it the other way?
No.
No? Okay.
This is a beautiful set. I love coral, one of my favorite colors. I think this is brand new. But this isn't what you're going to start with. And I wanted to tell you the differences. This paper, it says right here, is 65-pound weight. And I'm going to demonstrate that at home because this paper is just really too thin for a card base. You can use it on top of a card and you can use it to stamp on. I highly recommend all of these colors. There's oranges, and maybe you can show them all the different colors here. That's my mom helping me. Gorgeous, gorgeous sets of colors. I love that I just saw. But as you come down here, I am only seeing 65 pounds. So I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, let's back up a little. Sorry. For beginners, this is what I am recommending. It is a 110-pound card base, and this is really thick paper. I'm going to be demonstrating this at home, but this is what you will be looking for. You can stamp with any cardstock, but I highly recommend this, especially for its price. Today it is buy one, get one 50% off, but if it's not on sale, it's $15. And even at 20%, or if you can get a 40% off, it makes it really reasonable for 100 sheets of that. And it comes in several different colors. There's craft, there's white, and oh, actually right here, could you show them these here? There's purples, blues, and greens. The one thing that's really missing, see, that's the 65 pounds.
Okay.
So it's good that you show them that. You don't want the 65. You want to stick with these 110s. And this is such a cool set.
These are all.
Okay. So a little technical difficulty there, but we're back. Again, these are your 110 pounds, and they have them in pinks, your light rose petal colors, your brights if you're doing like kid cards. These are a lot of fun. But what you really do want is you want to start with a package of white. So I would highly recommend that. Now while we're in this aisle, and I can take over, I guess.
Okay.
This is my mom. Say hi, Mom. Hi. While you're here, and if you come to buy some of these cardstocks, just spin around and look for the papers that complement. Now, you really don't want to get, let's say you like the color yellow, which I do. The ducks are cute, but that's a little bit busy. You want to get something that is a little bit smaller and less busy so that you can either stamp on it or that you can cut out your stamped images and put them right over top of it. Even something like this isn't too bad. And these are, oh my goodness, this is on sale for $25. So keep your eyes peeled for those kinds of things. I'll be making a lot of cards with patterned papers, and yeah, these are really good prices. I should pick some up. But anyway, so this is Michael's. All of mine are already opened, and I just wanted to show you this. So I'm going to go home, and we will go from there. Thanks for watching. Hi again, it's Barb, and I am back from Michael's, and I wanted to go over a few Cardstock Basics with you. I couldn't resist getting this. This is the one that I picked up at the store that I said was such pretty colors for spring and summer in the corals. I think this is new, and I wanted to remind you that this is 65-pound cardstock. And when I was at the store, I did mention that you really don't want to use this as a card base. And you can kind of see how flimsy it is just by me waving it. But I wanted to tell you what you could do with this kind of paper that's very lightweight and why I buy it. Now, this card is made with 110-pound cardstock. I showed you that at Michael's in the package, and it was a pretty thick package. And I didn't buy any because I didn't need any. I have tons of it. But what you will do when you buy white paper, and why I recommended the white for starters, is you can build a lot with a white card base. This is an example of 110-pound. And I've just did some stamping on it. And then for this square frame here in purple, you could do it using this lightweight paper. It doesn't really matter as long as you're not trying to hold up a card, because a card made with this paper is going to flip over pretty easily. You really could use this for a card base, but I did want to show you that it is very flimsy. And I guess I felt kind of bad for saying, oh, you could never use this, because really you could. It's just a lot lighter weight. So let me pull these. Let me just show you how pretty these are. I love all these colors. And it does stand up, but it is, like I said, very flimsy. But you might want to pick up some in some of the colors that you like to use in projects like this. Now, one of the other things that I looked at in 110-pound was a large package, and I forget what color I picked up, but I have it here in the purples. And that, I wanted to just show you the difference. You can even hear it. It's just a lot thicker. And when you go to cut it, 5.5, and fold it, again, it gives that bumpy edge because it's such thick paper, and you have to just smooth it out a little bit. But this card is going to be just a lot thicker and sturdier to send to someone rather than the thinner one. So that's why I recommend the 110-pound paper. Sometimes you will get to the point that you want something, you want to make a card, and the entire card might be in like a mint green color. For that, I recommend looking at other papers. I buy from Stampin' Up. I'm not a Stampin' Up demonstrator, but their cardstock is 80 pounds. I think it's 80 or 85. And if you did want to buy from them, I can leave a link to my demonstrator's name and website in the box below. And I wanted to pull out, this is Whisper White, and this is a Stampin' Up cardstock that they sell for their bases. And I think, honestly, that this is the perfect thickness. It folds fairly easily, but it's still a really super sturdy card. But I know that sometimes it's hard to spend $9 for just a few sheets of paper. I think it might be 40, and then you do have to pay their surcharge and shipping and everything. So I highly recommend Stampin' Up. Their cardstock is great, but to start off with, I think the idea of just going with Michael's is good. Now I wanted to show you, these are 3 colors of Stampin' Up cardstock that I have. And they just have a lot of colors and there's a lot of flexibility. But just for your starters, definitely look into Michael's. Now, at Joann's, I found something a little bit different, and I just wanted to make you aware of this. These cardstocks that I talked about from Stampin' Up! And from Michael's are what's called solid core cardstocks. That means that they are purple or green or whatever through and through. At Joann's recently, I found what's called white core cardstock. And I'll just give you a little quick demo of that. And it doesn't really matter unless you're doing a special project. You do sometimes want to be a little bit careful with folding because the white, sometimes if you fold too hard, can show through there. But the way I made this Valentine's Day card with the white core cardstock is I just used the base, and then I took a little bit and I just tore it. And that shows the white through, and that gives you, you have to kind of flip it, or else if you just tear it again, it's only going to be white on one side and then the other white is going to be underneath. So you want to flip it if you want the white on both sides. But that just gives you a little bit more dimension for actually no more money. And you could put that on if you chose to use blue. You could maybe make it look like the waves of the ocean. With this one, I just decided to make a simple Valentine's Day card. A lot of the Valentine's Day cards I send to people aren't like really mushy. It's just like a general greeting. And that's what I tried to achieve here. I just used some different rhinestones and pearls and made that card with the big focal point being the white core. Now, when you tear white core paper, it leaves a large portion of white, but I wanted to show you, I don't know if I'm going to have to do this off the table and come back and show you, but if you tear it just a little along the edge of a table, you get just a little bit of white showing, and that adds a nice accent too without being as dramatic as tearing it freehand. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you about white core that you can do, and that is you can, this is something that I'll get to a little bit later. This is not something if you just started stamping that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to go out and get one of these. You'll probably want one of these at some point. But this is an embossing folder, and what it does is it takes a smooth piece of paper of any color, and when you put it in there and run it through an embossing machine, it makes an embossed pattern on it. And then you can take that a step further, and I am going to have to click my camera off and go get one more item to show you this. Okay, I am back. So like I said, with the white core, one of the things that you can do is use an embossing folder and emboss that. And then you can take a regular emery board, a lightweight sander. They sell sanders specifically for paper crafting. This is just an old Stampin' Up! Sander, emery board kind of thing. And what you can do with this is just run it over top of it lightly. Now you can do this as hard or as soft or as long as you like. And one thing that you can see that's coming through is the white center. And that's just kind of a fun way to add some design to a card, and then you can just have a fun background to put the rest of your stamped materials on top. So I just wanted to tell you what white core is so that you know when you're looking at cardstock and you see white core, you'll know exactly what that is. Okay, so just to recap, when you buy your white cardstock, it'll be mostly used for card bases such as this. This is just a piece of white paper, and I've taken some ink and brushed the edges. So that's what you would use your white 110-pound cardstock for, is this base, so it stands up nicely. And then if you choose to, you can buy 60-pound cardstock and do stamping on whatever is going to be on the card, because that doesn't need to have strong paper attached with it. This is just fine. In fact, it's a lot easier to tear as this is, or to cut if it's 60 pounds. So that's one example. Let me just move these out of the way. Now, again, I have this card, and it looks intricate on the front, but it is just made with a white card base, again, 110 pounds, that's folded the opposite way of this. So like I said, you can do them either way. This is patterned paper that I've put on the top and the bottom, and a strip of regular cardstock in here. These flowers were stamped and cut out on, and colored, on 60-pound cardstock, which is that very light and flimsy. So both 60 and 110 have a place in your craft collection. If you don't want to buy both, I highly recommend just starting with the 110. But the 60, a lot of times you can get it for $3 a package of 100, so that makes it real affordable. As you get stamping more, you will potentially want cardstock that's colored. So whether you buy it at Joann's or Michael's or any other local craft store, even a lot of your local independent craft stores sell it one sheet at a time, and that's a really good way to get a lot of variety without spending a lot of money at first. This is an example of what I've done with that, is just use the base. This is a Stampin' Up! Base, and then I've popped it up with another base that's the same color. And this is actually washi tape across here. So there's so many different things you can do, but you don't necessarily need to buy like your colored cardstocks right away. You could pretty much do this with white and have it as a base, and then just put patterned paper over top of it. And I just wanted to show you, this one was one that I used colored cardstock. This is a Stampin' Up! Pink, and then the 60-pound cardstock, I did that oval and these two. And then you'll need a liner if you do make cards with a dark cardstock, and that's what I did here. So, and then my last two that I just wanted to show you, this one is a piece of cardstock that I believe it's Stampin' Up!, but they have something very similar at Michael's, and it's like a craft color cardstock, and I have just used that as a base for that. And this here, I'm going to do a whole video on this cardstock because it's my absolute favorite. It's called True White, and it's from a place called Paper Papers, and it's the most amazing color ever. But again, here, I used the brown, and then these are done in cream. So you can do a lot. Just start with white, and I would encourage you to, when you are buying cardstock colors, buy colors that you like personally, because those are going to last the longest and give you the most use. If you like pinks and purples and more girly colors, or if you like more earth tones, I am more of an earth tone yellow kind of person. I don't use a lot of blue. So as you shop for papers, think about those things. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Just write them down below. Thanks so much for watching.